My beloved child, listen closely, because the verdict has been sealed, and in the courts of heaven your case was heard, and a judgment has been issued firmly in your favor. Those who plotted against you in secret, those who smiled to your face while sharpening their knives behind your back, have been exposed in my sight. I am about to vindicate you in front of the very people who tried to destroy you, and what I am about to reveal will confirm everything you have been sensing in your spirit. It is not a coincidence that you are hearing these words right now, because I have orchestrated this divine appointment. Something urgent is happening in the spiritual realm at this very moment that concerns you directly. A decree has been issued from my throne that overturns every negative judgment spoken against you, a ruling that establishes your complete victory in every area where you have been experiencing defeat. This is the confirmation of a miracle that is already on its way to your doorstep. Take this moment, speak it out loud with me. I receive my vindication. Claim it. Say it now. I see you there, carrying burdens that were never meant for your shoulders to bear, fighting battles that I have already won for you, and struggling with doubts that have no power over the truth of who you are in me. The weight that has been pressing down on your spirit is not from me, and the confusion that has been clouding your vision is not of my design. The fear that has been paralyzing your progress is not part of my plan for your life, because all of these things are tactics of an enemy who knows that his time is running short and that your breakthrough is imminent. You have been walking through a season where it seems like everyone around you has turned their back on your dreams, where people you trusted have betrayed your confidence, and where those you loved have spoken words that cut deeper than any sword could ever reach. I have watched every tear that has fallen from your eyes in the silence of your room when you thought noon was paying attention, and I have counted every sleepless hour you have spent staring at the ceiling, wondering if the future will bring any relief from the heavy weight of your circumstances. I have felt every ache in your heart when disappointment after disappointment has knocked at your door, and I want you to know that not one second of your suffering has gone unnoticed by me. But let me tell you what you have not been able to see during this difficult season, because while you were laying awake at night wondering if anyone cared about your situation, I was working through the night on your behalf, moving people and circumstances into position for your breakthrough. While you were questioning whether your prayers were reached, I was already preparing the answers that would exceed your expectations. And while you were wondering if I had forgotten about you, I was actually positioning you for the greatest demonstration of my faithfulness that you have ever witnessed. The people who have hurt you, who have whispered lies about your character, who have tried to diminish your light because they cannot stand the brightness of your potential, do not understand that they are fighting against something much greater than themselves. They see your kindness and mistake it for weakness, not understanding that meekness is power under control, and they witness your humility and confuse it with insecurity, not recognizing that humility is the doorway to honor. They observe your faith and assume it makes you knave, not realizing that faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. What they fail to recognize is that you carry within you every essence of my divine nature, and now upon formed against you can ever prosper, because I'm your shield and your defender. The DNA of heaven flows through your spiritual veins, and the very same power that spoke the universe into existence dwells within you. The authority that commands angels and silences demons has been deposited in your spirit. So you are not just a human trying to survive in a hostile world. You are a divine being having a temporary human experience. That divine nature within you is about to manifest in ways that will astonish everyone who knows you. If this is stirring something in you, don't keep it inside, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Tell them your season is changing. Send that word now. You want to tell you something that will change the way you see every challenge that comes your way from this moment forward. The attacks you have been experiencing, the setbacks that have made you question your worth, and the closed doors that have left you feeling rejected and forgotten are not happening because I have abandoned you, or because you have done something to deserve punishment. These are the desperate attempts of an enemy who knows that his time is running short, who recognizes the immense calling on your life, and who is trying everything in his power to convince you to give up before you step into the fullness of your destiny. Every attack is actually evidence of your importance in my kingdom, and every obstacle is proof of the significant assignment I have given you. Every form of opposition is confirmation that the enemy sees something in you that threatens his kingdom of darkness. Because if you were not destined for greatness, if you were not called to make a significant impact, if you were not chosen to be a force for my kingdom, the enemy would leave you alone. The very fact that you are facing such intense spiritual warfare is your invitation to step up and step into the authority that belongs to you as my child. But I am here to remind you of something that the enemy hopes you will forget, which is that you are not just any ordinary person trying to make it through life. You are my chosen one, hand-picked before the foundation of the world, designed with specific gifts and talents that none else possesses, and created to fulfill a purpose that only you can accomplish. Before the stars were hung in space, before the mountains were established, before these seas were formed, I had you in mind, and I designed you specifically for the time and place where you find yourself right now. You are not an accident of biology or a coincidence of circumstances. You are a carefully crafted masterpiece created for such a time as this. The very fact that you are facing such intense opposition is actually proof of how significant you are in my kingdom and how greatly the enemy fears what I am about to do through your life. He has studied the blueprints of your destiny that were drawn up before the foundation of the world, and what he sees there terrifies him to his very core. He understands that when you fully embrace who you are and step into what you were created to do, his kingdom will suffer tremendous losses, and my kingdom will experience tremendous advancement. The enemy has seen the impact you will have on families that are currently broken, and he knows that your testimony of restoration will bring healing to households around the world. He has witnessed the influence you will wield over communities that are currently divided, and he understands that your example of unity will bridge gaps that have existed for generations. He has observed the authority you will carry in the marketplace, in your profession, and in your sphere of influence. And he recognizes that your integrity and wisdom will challenge systems of corruption and establish new standards of excellence and righteousness. But before I continue, there is something crucial you need to understand about the enemies who have risen against you. Think about Joseph for a moment, that young man who carried dreams that seemed impossible to everyone around him. When he was just 17 years old, I gave him dreams that revealed his future position of authority and influence. But between the receiving of those dreams and their fulfillment lay 13 years of testing, training, and character development that would prepare him for the responsibilities that were coming. His own brothers, the people who should have supported him, most sold him into slavery because they could not bear to see the favor that rested upon his life. They were jealous of his colorful coat, which was a symbol of his father's special love, but more than that, they were envious of the obvious anointing that rested upon him even as a young man. They could see that he was different, that there was something special about him, and instead of celebrating what God was doing in his life, they allowed jealousy to poison their hearts and motivate them to betray their own flesh and blood. Joseph found himself in Egypt, far from his family and far from everything familiar. Soldas leveto mana med Potiphar. But even in slavery, the blessing of God upon his life was so evident that Potiphar put him in charge of his entire household because everything Joseph touched prospered. Every project he managed succeeded, and every responsibility he was given was fulfilled with excellence. His integrity, his work ethic, his wisdom, and his character set him apart from everyone else in that household. But then came another test, one that would determine whether Joseph's character matched his calling. Potiphar's wife attempted to seduce him, offering him pleasure that would have compromised his integrity and destroyed his testimony. Day after day she pressured him, promising him things that might have seemed attractive to a young man far from home. But Joseph understood that his character was more valuable than any temporary pleasure, and that his integrity was more important than any momentary satisfaction. When he refused her advances and fled from temptation, she falsely accused him of the very thing she had been trying to entice him to do, and once again Joseph found himself suffering for doing the right thing, punished for maintaining his integrity, and penalized for choosing character over compromise. He was thrown into prison for a crime he did not commit, and it seemed like his dreams were becoming more impossible with each passing day. 4 more years Joseph sat in that prison serving his sentence for a crime he did not commit while the real criminals walked free. But what Joseph did not know during those difficult years was that every single setback was actually a setup for something greater. Because the pit was preparing him for the palace. The prison was developing in him the character he would need to handle the authority he was about to receive. And the years of waiting were building in him a dependence on my timing that would serve him well when he became second in command of the most powerful nation on earth. In the prison, Joseph met women who would eventually be instrumental in his promotion, the chief butler and the chief baker of Pharaoh, both of whom had dreams that they could not understand. Joseph, operating in the gift of interpretation that I had given him, was able to explain the meaning of their dreams, and the chief butler was restored to his position just as had interpreted. But I forgot about Joseph 14 more years until Pharaoh himself had dreams that none could interpret. When Pharaoh finally summoned Joseph to interpret this dreams, Joseph was ready not just with supernatural insight, but with practical wisdom that would save the nation from famine. In one day, he went from being a forgotten prisoner to becoming the second most powerful man in Egypt. The very crisis that Pharaoh's dreams revealed became the opportunity for Joseph's elevation, and the problem that threatened to destroy Egypt became the platform for Joseph's promotion. Every false accusation Joseph faced was actually removing people from his life who would have been obstacles to his promotion, and why closed door was redirecting him toward the open door that would change not only his destiny but the destiny of nations. Every night spent wondering if I had forgotten about him was actually a night when I was working behind the scenes, moving people and circumstances into position for his miraculous breakthrough. When the time was right, and when everything was perfectly aligned according to my plan, I lifted him from the prison to the palace in a single day, and those who had tried to destroy him were amazed at the transformation they witnessed. If Joseph's story gives you hope, this now, write down one thing you will not give up on, then declare, "This is mine. I will not quit." Make that declaration now. This is exactly what I am doing in your life right now. Because while you have been focusing on the doors that have closed, I have been opening doors that no man can shut. While you have been mourning the relationships that ended, I have been preparing divine connections that will accelerate your purpose in ways you never imagined. While you have been wondering why certain opportunities passed you by, I have been orchestrating opportunities that are specifically designed for your unique gifts and calling. The season you are in right now is not your permanent address. It is not your final destination. It is your preparation ground and your training facility. It is the place where I am developing in you the strength and wisdom you will need for the greater things that are coming. Every tear you have cried is watering the seeds of your breakthrough. Every prayer you have prayed is moving mountains that you cannot see. And every act of faith, no matter how small it seemed to you, has been creating ripples in the spiritual realm that are about to manifest tsunamis of blessing in your natural circumstance. Now listen carefully to what I am about to reveal, because this next example will show you exactly how I vindicate those who have been betrayed. Consider the story of Moses, another one of my servants, who experienced a long season of preparation before stepping to his destiny. He was born during a time when my people were enslaved in Egypt, and when Hebrew baby boys were being killed to prevent the Israelites from growing too numerous. But I had my hand on Moses from birth, orchestrating his rescue and placement in Pharaoh's own household, where he would receive the best education and training that Egypt could provide. For 40 years, Moses lived in the palace, learning leadership, administration, military strategy, and diplomacy, gaining access to resources, influence, and opportunity that most people could only dream of. But when he saw an Egyptian taster beating a Hebrew slave, his heart for justice led him to act in a way that forced him to flee for his life into the wilderness. What looked like the end of his opportunities was actually the beginning of the next phase of his preparation. For another 40 years, Moses lived in the wilderness, tending sheep, learning patience, developing humility, and discovering how to hear my voice in the silence of the desert. The man who had once been a prince in Egypt became a shepherd in Midian, and it seemed like all of his potential was being wasted in obscurity, but I was using those years to strip away his dependence on human resources and teach him to depend on divine power. I was taking the self-confidence that came from his privileged position and replacing it with God confidence that came from knowing me intimately. When Moses finally encountered Meet the Burnie, Nangbush, when it called him to return to Egypt and lead my people out of slavery, he was no longer the impetuous young man who had tried to deliver Israel through human strength. He was now a humble, broken, surrendered vessel who understood his completed dependence on my power and presence. The 80-year-old Moses was infinitely more qualified to lead the Exodus than the 40-year-old Moses had been, not because he was stronger or smarter, but because he was emptier of himself and fuller of me. The plagues that I sent upon Egypt, the miracles at the Red Sea, the provision in the wilderness, and the giving of the law at Mount Sinai all required a leader who had been thoroughly prepared through seasons of blessing and seasons of brokenness. He had to go through times of favor and times of testing, through experiences of elevation and experiences of humiliation. Moses could lead my people through their wilderness journey because he had already been through his own wilderness journey and learned to trust in my faithfulness even when circumstances seemed impossible. This same process of preparation is what you have been going through in your own life, because the experiences that felt like setbacks were actually setups for your comeback. These seasons that felt like wasted time were actually invested time building character and developing faith that you will need for the assignment I am calling you to fulfill. The difficulties that felt like punishment were actually preparation, equipping you with the wisdom and compassion you will need to help others navigate their own challenges. This next part is crucial for you to understand because it reveals the truth about those who have wounded you. It needs you to understand something about the people who have hurt you, those who have tried to sabotage your progress and steal your joy. They are not your real enemies. They are simply people who have allowed themselves to become instruments in the hands of a defeated foe, who is desperately trying to stop what I have already declared will come to pass in your life. Behind every person who has spoken against you, behind every situation that has tried to break your spirit, and behind every circumstance that has attempted to convince you that your best days are behind you, There's a spiritual enemy who knows that his time is running out. But here is what I want you to know about that enemy. He is a defeated foe. His power was broken on the cross when I gave my life for you. His authority was stripped away when I rose from the grave 3 days later. And his kingdom was invaded and his captives were set free when I ascended to heaven and sent my spirit to live inside of you. He has no legal right to your life, no claim on your future, and no power over your destiny except what you give him through fear and unbelief. The cross was not just an act of love, it was an act of war. When I hung between heaven and earth bearing your sins and shame, I was not just providing salvation for humanity, he was engaging in cosmic combat with the forces of darkness. Every stripe that was placed on my back was payment for your healing. Every thorn that pierced my brow was taking away every curse that had been spoken over your life. And every nail that was driven through my hands and feet was securing your victory over every enemy that would ever come against you. When I cried out, "It is finished," I was not just announcing the completion of my sacrifice. I was declaring the total defeat of every power that had held humanity in bondage. Death lost its sting, hell lost its victory, and Satan lost this authority over the sons and daughters of God. The veil in the temple was torn from top to bottom, symbolizing that the separation between God and man had been forever removed, and that access to my presence was no longer limited to a select few but available to all who would believe. And 3 days later, when I rose from the dead, I demonstrated that death itself could hold what belongs to me. The resurrection was my victory lap. My public declaration that every power of darkness had been conquered, every principality had been defeated, and every ruler of this world had been overcome. I arose with the keys of death and hell in my hand, having stripped the enemy of every weapon he had used to torment my children. That is why the enemy works so hard to fill your mind with thoughts of failure and your heart with feelings of hopelessness. That is why he sends people into your life who will try to convince you that you are not good enough, smart enough, talented enough, or worthy enough to receive the blessings I have prepared for you. That is why he orchestrates circumstances that are designed to make you question my love for you and doubt my ability to come through on my promises. He knows that if you ever fully understand the victory that was won for you at Calvary, if you ever completely grasp the authority that was purchased for you through my blood, and if you ever totally embrace the identity that belongs to you as my child, you will become unstoppable in advancing my kingdom and devastating his. So he works tirelessly to keep you focused on your problems, instead of my promises, on your weaknesses instead of my strength, and on your past instead of your future. But I am about to show you something that will silence every lie he has whispered in your ear. I am about to demonstrate my power in your life in such an undeniable way that neither you nor anyone around you will ever again question whether I am real, whether I care, or whether I am able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that you could ask or think. The miracle that I am preparing for you is so big, so obvious, and so perfectly timed that it will leave no room for doubt about my involvement in your life. What I am about to say may surprise you, but it will show you why my timing is always perfect, even when it seems delayed. Think about the story of Lazarus, a dear friend of mine who became very sick while I was ministering in another region. His sisters Mary and Martha sent word to me that the one I loved was sick, fully expecting that I would drop everything and come immediately to help their brother. They had seen me heal strangers countless times, restoring sight to the blind with a touch, making the lame walk with a word, and casting out demons with a command. They knew that Lazarus held a special place in my heart, so surely I would not let my friend die when I had the power to heal him with just a word, especially when I had demonstrated such compassion for those whom antlised him personally. But when I received their message, I deliberately waited 2 more days before beginning the journey to Bethany. This delay was no indifference to their pain or insensitivity to their urgent request. It was strategic timing designed to set the stage for a miracle that would be so undeniable, so powerful, and so overwhelming in its scope that it would forever change how people understood my authority over death itself. By the time I arrived, Lazarus had been dead for 4 days, long enough for decomposition to begin, long enough for all hope to be lost, and long enough for everyone to be convinced that I had arrived too late to make any difference. According to Jewish custom, the soul was believed to depart from the body after 3 days, making resurrection impossible. Soon the 4th day, there could be no doubt that what they were about to witness was a genuine resurrection from the dead, not a resuscitation of someone who was merely unconscious. Martha ran out to meet me and said, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." There was disappointment in her voice, confusion about my timing, and questioning about my care for their family, because she had expected immediate intervention, but instead she had experienced a delayed response. She had hoped for healing, but instead she had encountered death, and she had trusted in my ability to help, but my help had seemed to come too late. But what Martha did not understand was that I had not come too late. I had come at exactly the right time. I had not failed to answer their request. I had chosen to answer it in a way that would demonstrate my power more dramatically than a simple healing could have done. I had not been indifferent to their pain. I had allowed their pain to set the stage for a miracle that would strengthen their faith and glorify my name in ways that would impact generations. When I called Lazarus to come forth from the tomb, when a man who had been dead for 4 days walked out of his grave still wrapped in burial clothes, everyone who witnessed that miracle understood that they were seeing something that only God could do. No human power could raise the dead. No earthly authority could command life to return to a decaying body, and no natural explanation could account for what they were witnessing. That miracle became the catalyst for many people putting their faith in me. The reputation of my power spread throughout the regions, so that even my enemies had to acknowledge that something supernatural had taken place. Mary and Martha understood in a way they never could have before that my timing is always perfect, that my delays are not denials, and that my ways are higher than human ways and my thoughts are higher than human thoughts. This is exactly what I am preparing to do in your life, because what looks like delay is actually divine timing. What feels like denial is actually a divine setup for something greater than you originally asked for. And what appears to be too late is actually right on time for the kind of miracle that will leave no doubt about my involvement in your circumstances. When that breakthrough comes, when those doors swing open, and when those blessings begin to overflow, I want you to remember this moment when you felt like giving up. I want you to recall these words when you were ready to throw in the towel and surrender to the belief that nothing would ever change, because on that day when you are standing in the fullness of everything I have promised you, you will understand that every day of waiting was worth it. Every moment of struggle was preparing you for something greater. And every tear you shed was an investment in the joy that was coming. Right now, in this very moment, I am releasing a supernatural peace over your mind that will guard your thoughts from the attacks of the enemy. This is not ordinary peace that comes from favorable circumstances. This is supernatural peace that surpasses all understanding. Peace that remains steady in the midst of storms, and peace that keeps your heart calm when everything around you is in chaos. This peace is one of the benefits of belonging to my family, one of the privileges of being my child, and one of the evidences that my spirit dwells within you. I am surrounding your heart with a divine protection that will keep you from being wounded by the words of those who do not understand your calling. The accusations they speak will bounce off of you like arrows shooting a shield. The lies they tell will have no power to penetrate the truth about who you are in my eyes, and the rejection they offer will not be able to reach the core of your identity, because your worth is not determined by human opinion, but by divine decree. I am placing a hedge of angels around your life that will prevent any weapon formed against you from finding its target. These are not symbolic angels or metaphorical protection. These are real spiritual beings with real power who have been assigned to guard you in all your ways. They go before you to prepare your path. They stand beside you to strengthen you in battle. They follow behind you to protect you from attacks that come from behind. They surround you like a wall of fire that no enemy can penetrate. I am filling you with a faith that is stronger than any circumstance you will ever face. A faith not based on what you can see with your natural eyes or understand with your natural mind, but a faith anchored in my character and my promises, rooted in my faithfulness and my love, and established on the foundation of my word that cannot lie and my nature that cannot change. This faith will enable you to stand when others fall, to hope when others despair, to persevere when others quit, and to overcome when others surrender. If you want this peace, receive it now. Place your hand over your heart and say, "Peace, I receive you." Breathe and accept it. The battles that have been raging around your life are not happening because I am weak or because my power is limited. They are happening because the enemy knows what I am about to do through you, and he's terrified of the impact you're going to have on his kingdom of darkness. Every attack you have faced is actually a testimony to the greatness that is within you, and every obstacle that has been placed in your path is evidence of the significant calling on your life. Pay close attention to this truth, because what I am about to share will reveal how I protect and elevate those who remain faithful despite betrayal. Consider the story of David, another servant of mine who experienced intense opposition precisely because of the calling on his life. When he was just a shepherd boy, the youngest of 8 sons and forgotten by his own family, the prophet Samuel came to anoint the next king of Israel. I looked past this outward appearance and saw his heart. His father Jesse had not even bothered to call him in from the fields when Samuel arrived to choose the future king from among his sons. 7 older brothers were presented, each one impressive in his own way, and each one seemingly more qualified than the next to worth a crown and lead the nation. But I looked past their outward appearance and saw their hearts, and I found them lacking in the qualities that truly matter for leadership. As a young man who worshipped me in the fields when no one else was around, who composed songs of praise under the stars while his sheep slept safely nearby. And I watched him protect his father's sheep from lions and bears with a courage that came from trusting in my strength rather than his own. Never boasting of his victories and never taking credit for the supernatural strength I gave him, I observed his faithfulness in small things, his integrity when none was watching, and his heart of worship that flowed from genuine love rather than religious obligation. These were the qualities that qualified him for kingship, not his age, his size, or his position in the family hierarchy. When I anointed David through Samuel, the Spirit of the Lord came upon him in power. But his external circumstances did not immediately change because he was still a shepherd, still overlooked by his family, and still unknown by the nation. But everything changed the day he went to the battlefield to bring food to his brothers and heard the giant Goliath mocking the armies of the living God. For 40 days, this 9-foot-tall champion of the Philistines had taunted the Israelite army, challenging any man to single combat with the outcome determining the fate of both nations. Every soldier in Saul's army was paralyzed with fear, including the king himself, because they saw the size of Goliath's spear, the weight of his armor, and the reputation of his victory, as in they calculated their odds of survival as 0. But when David heard those taunts, he did not see an unbeatable giant. He saw an uncircumcised Philistine defying the armies of the living God. He did not calculate his chances based on natural odds. He remembered the faithfulness of God who had delivered him from the lion and the bear. He did not focus on his own limitations. He focused on my unlimited power working through him. When David volunteered to fight the giant king, Saul tried to dress him in the king's own armor, thinking that human protection would somehow improve David's chances. But David understood that the battle belonged to the Lord, and he needed to fight in a way that would make it clear that victory came from divine power, not human strength. So he took off the heavy armor, picked up 5 smooth stones from the brook, and walked onto the battlefield with nothing but his sling, his faith, and his confidence in my ability to deliver. The sight of this young shepherd walking toward him with no armor and no sword made Goliath furious, so he cursed David by his gods and promised to feed his fleet the birds and the beasts. But David's response revealed the source of his confidence. He said, "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. This day the Lord will deliver you into my hands, and I will strike you down and cut off your head, giving the carcasses of the Philistine army to the birds and the wild animals, so that the whole world will know that there is a God in Israel. All those gathered here will know that it is not by sword or spear, that the Lord saves, for the battle is the Lord's, and he will give all of you into our hands." With 1 stone accurately hurled from his sling, David struck down the giant who had terrorized an entire army, and the impossible became possible. The insurmountable was overcome and the unbeatable was defeated, all because a young man understood that the size of his God was infinitely greater than the size of his problems. The Philistine near my fled in terror, and David's name became known throughout the land as the giant killer, the young man who had faith to believe God for the impossible. But that victory, a significant ace it was, became the source of new problems for David, because King Saul became jealous of his popularity and began to see him as a threat to his own position. The very success that should have been celebrated became their reason for persecution, and the anointing that had enabled David to defeat Israel's enemies now made him enemy in the eyes of Israel's king. For years, David lived as a fugitive, hiding in caves and running from place to place, constantly looking over his shoulder for Saul's soldiers who were hunting him like a wild animal. The man who had been anointed as the future king of Israel was living like an outlaw, rejected by the very people he had served and hunted by the very king he had protected. There were times when David's faith wavered. He wondered if the prophet Samuel had made a mistake, and when he questioned whether the anointing he had received was real or just his imagination. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. During those years of exile, David wrote many of the Psalms that have comforted and encouraged believers for thousands of years. In Psalm 13, he cried out, asking how long I would forget them or hide my face from him, wondering how long he must wrestle with his thoughts and have sorrow in his heart while his enemy triumphed over him. David experienced the same kinds of emotions that you have been feeling, including abandonment, confusion, sorrow, and weariness from prolonged struggle. But even in his darkest moments, David's faith in my faithfulness ultimately prevailed. He concluded that he trusted in my unfailing love, and his heart rejoiced in my salvation, promising to sing the Lord's praise because I had been good to him. David learned to anchor his hope not in his changing circumstances, but in my unchanging character, finding his security not in his situation, but in my sovereignty, and discovering that my timing is always perfect, even when it does not align with human expectations. When Saul finally died in battle and David became king, he understood in a way that he never could have before that. Every year of exile had been preparation for the responsibilities of leadership. Every cave he had hidden in had taught them humility. Every narrow escape had increased his dependence on my protection, and every injustice he had suffered had developed in him a heart of compassion for others who were oppressed. The wilderness years had not been wasted years. They had been invested years building character and faith that would serve him well as held the nation of Israel. This is exactly what has been happening in your life during this season of difficulty, because the opposition you have faced has not been evidence of my absence. It has been preparation for my greater purposes. The delays you have experienced have not been denials of my promises. They have been development opportunities to build the character you will need for what is coming. The isolation you have felt has not been abandonment. It has been an invitation to draw closer to me and discover that I am all you need. But I want you to know that those battles are coming to an end, because this season of warfare is giving way to a season of victory. The time of testing is transitioning into a time of blessing. The period of preparation is concluding, and the moment of manifestation is about to begin. You have passed the test, you have proven your faithfulness, and you have demonstrated your commitment to me despite the opposition you have faced. So now I'm about to reward your perseverance with blessings that will exceed your wildest expectations. The people who criticized you will become silent when they see what I do in your life, and those who doubted your calling will have no choice but to acknowledge the hand of God upon you. The ones who tried to prevent your progress will stand amazed as they watch you walk into opportunities they could never have provided for themselves. And those who attempted to steal your joy will witness a joy in your life that no circumstance can touch and no person can take away. I am about to vindicate you before your enemies and honor you, who before those who dishonored you, restoring to you everything that was stolen and giving you back double for your trouble. I am preparing to open doors that have been locked for years and provide opportunities that will make up for every chance you thought you had missed. The breakthrough that is coming will be so comprehensive, so complete, and so overwhelming in its scope that you will finally understand why nothing else worked out the way you planned. Every closed door was protecting you from something that would have limited your potential. Every rejected application was redirecting you toward something better than you had imagined. Every relatee on ship that tended was making room for connections that will serve your purpose. And every financial struggle was teaching you to trust in my provision rather than your own ability to provide. Every moment of loneliness was drawing you closer to me so that you would never find your identity in the approval of people, but only in my unconditional love for you. But there is more I need to show you about how those whose traps for my children. Let me tell you about Daniel, another one of my faithful servants who experienced opposition precisely because of his commitment to me. As a young man, he was taken captive from Jerusalem and brought to Babylon, where he was forced to adapt to a foreign culture while maintaining his faith in the one true God. The king of Babylon wanted to reprogram Daniel and his friends to make them forget their Hebrew heritage and embrace Babylonian values, hoping to erase their identity as children of the covenant. But Daniel made a decision that would shape the rest of his life and impact the course of history when he purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with tea, king's food, or wine. He decided that he would maintain his distinctiveness as one of my people, even in a foreign land, and that he would not compromise his convictions, even if it cost him opportunities for advancement. This decision revealed Daniel's understanding that his ultimate allegiance was not to any earthly authority, and that obedience to my commands was more important than acceptance by human rulers. Because of Daniel's faithfulness, I blessed him with wisdom and understanding that surpassed all of his peers. So when King Nebuchadnezzar had a troubling dream that none of his wise men could interpret, Daniel was able to not only interpret the dream, but also to tell the king what he had dreamed. This supernatural demonstration of my power through Daniel resulted in his promotion to a position of great authority in the Babylonian government. But Daniel's success also made him enemies among those who were jealous of his influence and threatened by his integrity. When a new king came to power and Daniel continued to prosper, these jealous officials looked for ways to bring accusations against them. However, they could find no corruption in Daniel's administration, none negligence in his duties, and no fault in his character. The only thing they could find to criticize was his faithfulness to me sought. He devised a trap, convincing the king to issue a decree that for 30 days anyone who prayed to any god or man other than the king would be thrown into the lion's den. They knew that Daniel's pattern was to pray 3 times a day facing Jerusalem, and they were confident that he would not compromise his practice of worship event to save his life. They were counting on his consistency in prayer to become the means of his destruction. But when Daniel learned about the decree, he faced a choice that would test everything he claimed to believe. He could praise seeker. At least he could take a 30-day vacation from prayer, or he could find ways to rationalize obedience to the king's law. But Daniel understood that faithfulness to him could not be compartmentalized or compromised. He knew that integrity means the same person in private and in public, and that true worship cannot be hidden when the stakes are high. So Daniel continued his pattern of prayer, opening his windows toward Jerusalem and kneeling before me 3 times a day, just as she had always done. He was not being defiant or rebellious toward human authority. He was being faithful to divine authority. He was not seeking confrontation. He was seeking communion with me, and he was not trying to make a public statement. He was maintaining a private devotion that he refused to allow anyone to regulate or restrict. When Daniel was arrested and brought before the king, even his accusers had to acknowledge that he was guilty only of faithfulness to his God. The king himself was distressed, recognizing that he had been manipulated into signing a decree that would destroy a man he respected, but the law could know. To be changed, and Daniel was thrown into the lion's den. That night, while Daniel was surrounded by hungry beasts that should have devoured him, I sent my angel to shut the mouths of the lions. The same God who had delivered Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego from the fiery furnace demonstrated his power once again by protecting Daniel in the lion's den. When the king came early the next morning and called out to Daniel, he heard Daniel's voice responding with gratitude and worship, confirming that my angel had shut the mouths of the lions because he was found innocent in my sight. The king immediately ordered Daniel to be lifted out of the den, and not a scratch was found on him because he had trusted in his God. But his story does not end with Daniel's rescue. It ends with the promotion of Daniel and the punishment of his accusers, because the men who had accused Daniel were thrown into the lion's den along with their families, and the lions so overpowered them instantly. The very trap they had set for Daniel became the means of their own destruction, and the king issued a new decree commanding all people to fear and reverence the God of Daniel. What had been intended to silence Daniel's witness actually amplified it throughout the known world, and what had been designed to destroy his influence actually expanded it to reach nations and peoples she could never have accessed otherwise. This is exactly what I am preparing to do in your life, because the very opposition that has been designed to destroy you is about to become the platform for your promotion. The attacks that were meant to silence your voice are about to amplify your testimony to reach people and places you never imagined. And the trials that were intended to break you are about to become the foundation of your breakthrough and the source of your strength to help others. And now, as you stand on the threshold of your breakthrough, I want you to prepare your heart for what is coming, because the blessings I am about to release in your life are not just for you. They are for your family, for your community, and for everyone whose life will be touched by your testimony of my faithfulness. You are about to become living proof of my goodness, a walking demonstration of my power, and a breathing testimony of my love for those who trust in me. The favor that I am placing on your life will open doors that no amount of networking could. Davi opened, and the wisdom I am imparting to you will help you make decisions that will position you for success in every area of your life. The strength I am building in you will enable you to handle the responsibilities that come with the blessings I am preparing to give you, and the character I am developing in you will ensure that when the increase comes, you will be able to steward it with integrity and use it for my glory. But most importantly, the relationship I am building with you through this process will be the foundation upon which everything else in our life is constructed, because when you have learned to find your security in my love rather than in your circumstances, you will be ready to handle anything I place in your hands. This is why I have allowed you to go through this season of testing, not to punish you or break you, but to prepare you for the greatness that is coming. Every challenge has been developing your faith, every setback has been building your resilience, and every disappointment has been teaching you that your hope is not in the temporary things of this world, but in the eternal promise. So for your Heavenly Father who loves you more than you could ever imagine. And now that preparation is coming to an end. The season of planting is giving way to the season of harvest, and the time of sowing in tears is transitioning into the time of reaping in joy. The period of waiting in faith is about to become the moment of receiving in reality everything that I have promised you. This marks the beginning of a new chapter in your story. A chapter that will be filled with such beauty and blessing that you will look back on this moment as the turning point when, if everything changed, I am drawing a line in the sand of time and declaring that your season of struggle is over and your season of supernatural breakthrough has begun. The very atmosphere around your life is shifting as I speak these words over you, and the spiritual climate that has been working against you is being replaced by heavenly winds that will carry you into your destiny. The air itself is becoming charged with anticipation of the miracles that are about to unfold, the breakthroughs that are about to manifest, and the blessings that are about to overflow in your life. If you are ready to move into that new season, take one practical step this week. Make a plan, one phone call, one application, one prayer meeting, and say, "This week I act in faith." Write it down and do it. You want you to take a deep breath and feel the weight of worry lifting from your shoulders, relieving that knot in your stomach that has been there for months, and easing that tension in your neck that comes from carrying stress you were never meant to bear. That heaviness in your heart that has made it difficult to believe that better days are coming is being removed right now through the power of my healing presence. You are not going to carry those burdens on and more day, because I am taking them from you and replacing them with my peace that passes all understanding. The anxiety that wakes you up at 3 a.m. will no longer have permission to disturb your rest, and the fear that whispers lies about your future will be silenced by the sound of my voice speaking truth over your life. The depression that has tried to convince you that nothing will ever change will be driven out by the hope that I am placing in your heart right now. You are being set free from every mental and emotional prison that has held you captive, and you are walking into a liberty that will affect every area of your existence. Think about the transformation that is about to take place in your financial situation, because the limitations that have kept you struggling are about to be shattered by my supernatural provision. The debt that has felt like a mountain that could never be moved is about to be leveled by resources that I am bringing into your life from directions you never anticipated, and the bills that have caused you to lose sleep will be paid in full by income streams that I am opening for you right now. I am not talking about just enough to get by or barely making ends meet. I am talking about abundance that will allow you to live without financial stress, to give generously to those in need, and to pursue your dreams without worrying about how to fund them. I am talking about wealth that will position you to be able to sing to your family, your community, and my kingdom. The money that you need is already in circulation, and I am directing it toward your life through channels that will amaze you. Some of this increase will come through the work of your hands, as new opportunities in your career. Utilize your gifts and talents in ways you never imagined. I'm going to give you ideas that will set you apart from your peers, strategies that will give you an advantage in the marketplace, and insights that will help you make decisions that multiply your resources rather than depleting them. The very skills that have been undervalued will suddenly become the most sought-after qualities in your field, and other financial blessings will come as complete surprises, arriving when you least expect them, but exactly when you need them most. I am moving in the hearts of people you have never met to think of you when they are making financial decisions, so that forgotten debts will be repaid to you with interest. Lost investments will be recovered and multiplied, and inheritance that you did not expect will find its way to you through channels that only I could orchestrate. But the most beautiful part of your financial breakthrough will be the way it enables you to be able to sing to others, because when you have more than enough for yourself, you will be able to look around and see needs that you can meet, dreams that you can fund, and visions that you can support. Your health is also about to experience a supernatural restoration that will amaze your doctors and confound medical science, because every symptom that has been plaguing your body is being addressed by my healing power right now. The pain that has been constant is being replaced by strength and vitality, and the weakness that has limited your activities is being transformed into energy and endurance that will allow you to accomplish more than you ever thought possible. I am speaking to every cell in your body, commanding it to align with my original design for your health and wholeness, overruling every genetic predisposition toward disease by my authority as your creator, and interrupting every family history of illness by my intervention in your bloodline. Every medical condition that has tried to claim your life is being evicted by the same power that raised Jesus from the dead, so that I am renewing your youth like the eagles. Your strength is being restored, your stamina is being increased, and your mental clarity is being enhanced. You are going to feel better than you have felt in years, think more clearly than you have thought in years, and move with more agility than you have enjoyed in years. The vitality that you thought was gone forever is being returned to you, multiplied and magnified, so that your sleep will become restful and restorative. Your energy will be sustained throughout the day. Your immune system will be strengthened to fight off any attack, and every system in your body is being reset to operate according to my perfect design. But this physical healing is not just about feeling good, it's about being equipped for the work I have called you to do. The energy I am giving you will enable you to pursue your purpose with passion and persistence. The clarity I am providing will help you make wise decisions and solve complex problems. And the strength I am building in you will allow you to endure whatever challenges may come. Your relationships are also about to be transformed in the most beautiful ways, as the lone lines that has been an unwelcome companion is replaced by meaningful connections that will enrich your life beyond measure. The isolation that has made you feel like an outsider is being broken as I bring you into community with people who understand you, appreciate you, and celebrate you for who you truly are. The romantic relationship that you have been praying for, hoping for, and waiting for is closer than you think, because I have been preparing someone special who will love you exactly as you are while inspiring you to become everything you are destined to be. This person will see the beauty in your scars, the strength in your struggles, and the gold in your and they will be your partner in purpose, your companion in calling, and your teammate in transforming the world around you. This is not only a promise, it is a plan. Take one step toward those relationships this week. Call, forgive, or reach out and say, I open this door to blessing. This relationship will not be based on superficial attraction or temporary emotions, but will be founded on shared values, common vision, and mutual respect. your family relationships that have been strained by misunderstanding and hurt. Area about to experience healing and restoration as conversations that have been needed for years finally take place and forgiveness that has been withheld is offered and received. The unity that I intended for families will be established in your home as each person learns to see the others through my eyes of grace and acceptance. I am going to health wounds that have divided your family members, break down the walls that have separated them, and restore the love that has been buried under years of hurt and disappointments, so that family gatherings will become times of joy rather than tension. Your friendships will also reach a new level of depth and authenticity, as the superficial connections that have left you feeling empty are replaced by relationships that feed your soul and challenge your growth. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing. Super thanks from $50 to $100. You will find people who are willing to walk through life with you, sharing your joys and supporting you through your sorrows, friends who pray for you when you cannot pray for yourself, who speak truth to you when you need to hear it, and who celebrate your victories as if they were their own. In your professional life, the recognition that has been delayed is about to arrive in full force as the talents that have been overlooked suddenly become in high demand, and the skills that have been undervalued become the very qualities that set you apart from everyone else in your field. Doors of opportunity that have been locked for years are about to swing open with ease, and the perfect job, the ideal position, or the dream career that you thought was beyond your reach is being prepared for you right now. Interviews will go better than you hoped. Negotiations will work out in your favor, and offers will exceed what you thought possible. I am positioning you for promotions that will happen faster than you expected, raises that will be larger than you requested, and bonuses that will surprise you with their generosity. But beyond all of these external changes, the most profound transformation will be taking place in your heart and mind. The identity crisis that has plagued you first being resolved as you discover who you truly are in my eyes, and the insecurity that has whispered lies about your worth is being silenced by the truth of my unconditional love for you. The fear that has held you back from pursuing your dreams is being replaced by a bold confidence that comes from knowing that I am the one for you, allowing you to step into a version of yourself that you have never experienced before. You will speak with authority because you know who you are. You will walk with confidence because you know where you're going. You will love without reservation because you know how deeply, and you will give without fear because you know that I am your source and your supply. The voices that have spoken limitation over your life will be drowned out by voices speaking possibility, and the labels that others have tried to attach to you will be removed and replaced by my declarations of your true identity. You are not who your past says you are. Who is it you are? You are not limited by where you have been. You are empowered by where you are going. Now, I want to reveal something else that will strengthen your faith for the miracle that is coming by considering the story of Abraham, whom I called out of his comfort zone to become the father of many nations. When I first spoke to him, he was living in Ur, a prosperous city where he had established a successful life, but did not have the one thing that mattered most, which was a personal relationship with the one true God and a clear understanding of his purpose in life. When I called Abraham to leave everything familiar and got a wall that I would show him, I was asking him to abandon his security and step into uncertainty, to release his grip on what he could control and trust in what I would provide. I promised him that I would make him into a great nation, that I would bless him and make his name great, and that through him all the families of the earth would be blessed. But all of these promises seemed impossible, because Abraham and his wife Sarah were already old and had no children. For years Abraham waited for the fulfillment of my promises, and with each passing year, The promises seemed more unlikely, but what seemed impossible to human reasoning was perfectly possible to divine power. When Isaac was born, Abraham understood that I am the God who gives life to the dead and calls things that are not as thought they were, learning that my promises are not limited by natural circumstances or human limitations. The greatest test of Abraham's faith came when I asked him to sacrifice Isaac, the every son through whom all of my promises were supposed to be fulfilled. But Abraham had learned to trust in my character even when he could not understand my commands. He believed that even if Isaac died, I had the power to raise him from the dead, because I had the power to fulfill my promises regardless of circumstances. When Abraham demonstrated his willingness to bathe in wet, it made no sense to him. He provided a ram caught in the thicket as a substitute sacrifice, and Abraham's faith was credited to him as righteousness. This same faith is being developed in you through the testing you have endured, because like Abraham, you are learning to trust in my character when you cannot understand my timing and discovering that my promises are not limited by natural circumstances. The Isaac that I am about to give you, the miracle that will fulfill my promises in your life, is being prepared right now so that what has been barren in your life is about to become fruitful. What has been dead is about to come alive, and what has been impossible is about to become inevitable. But I want you to understand that the blessings I am preparing for you are not just individual benefits. They are generational breakthroughs that will affect your family line for generations to come. The curses that have been passed down through your ancestry are being broken. The patterns of poverty, sickness, addiction, and dysfunction that have plagued your family are being interrupted, and the spiritual strongholds that have held your bloodline captive are being demolished. You are not just receiving personal deliverance, you are becoming the deliverer of your entire family lines, so that the victory I am giving you will become the foundation for victories in the lives of your children and their children. The blessing that I am releasing over you will flow like a river through your descendants, and the transformation that I am working in, you will become the catalyst for transformation in everyone connected to you. I am making you a history maker, a generation change, and a family transformer so that the decisions you make from this point forward will echo through eternity. This is why the enemy fought so hard to stop you from reaching this moment, because he understood that your breakthrough would not just affect you but would create a ripple effect that would devastate his kingdom for generations to come. He knew that if he could break you, he could maintain the strongholds that have held your family captive, but because you have persevered and maintained your faith despite the opposition, you have become the key that unlocks breakthrough for everyone in your sphere of influence. And now, as the spiritual atmosphere shifts around your life, as the forces of darkness retreat and the armies of heaven advance, I want you to prepare yourself for what is coming. The miracle that is approaching will require you to expand your capacity to receive, to enlarge your vision of what is possible, and to increase your faith in my ability to do exceedingly abundantly above all that you could ask or think. The old wineskins of limited thinking must be replaced with new wineskins that can contain the new wine of fresh revelation, supernatural provision, and divine favor. Your expectations must be elevated to match my intentions for your life, because I'm not bringing you a small improvement or remnant or adjustment to your current situation. I am bringing you a complete transformation, a total makeover, and a comprehensive renovation of every area of your life. The change will be so dramatic, so obvious, and sound amiably supernatural that everyone around you will know that only God could have orchestrated what they are witnessing. Your family will watch in amazement as doors open that have been closed for generations, seeing you walk into opportunities that they never dreamed were possible for someone from your background. They will witness favor flowing towards you from directions they never expected. and they will understand that this transformation is not the result of your own efforts or abilities, but the manifestation of my faithfulness to the promises I made to you. Your friends will be astonished at the speed with which your life transforms, and people who have known you for years will barely recognize the person you are becoming, because the confidence, peace, joy, and authority that will radiate from your life will be unlike anything they have ever seen in you before. Your enemies will be silenced by the obvious blessing of God upon your life. Those who predicted your failure will be forced to acknowledge your success, and those who spoke defeat over your future will have to watch you walk in victory. Listen carefully now, because I want you to understand what has truly been happening behind the scenes in the spiritual warfare that has been raging around your life. The struggles you have been facing are not random occurrences, they are the result of every real war that has been taking place in the heavenly realms over your destiny. The enemy of your soul recognized long before you did the incredible potential that lies within you, and he saw the plans I had made for your life before the foundation of the world. He understood that if you were to fully step into your calling, you would become a tremendous threat to his kingdom of darkness. So he has been working overtime to try to derail you before you could reach your full potential. He has been sending person after person to peakward over youth that would plant seeds of doubt about your worth, orchestrating situation after situation designed to drain your energy and whispering lie after lie in your ear about who you are. The depression that has tried to settle over your mind like a dark cloud is not a natural response to your circumstances. It is a demonic assignment designed to keep you from recognizing the breakthrough that is approaching. The anxiety that has gripped your heart with fear is not wisdom, it is a spirit of fear sent to paralyze you. The confusion that has clouded your thinking is a deliberate attack on your mind, designed to keep you from receiving clarity, and the isolation that has made you feel cut off is a strategic assault on your connections. But what the enemy did not count on was the depth of your faith and the strength of your character that has been forged in the fires of adversity. He thought that if he applied enough pressure, you would crack under the strain. He believed that if he sent enough discouragement your way, you would give up on the promises I had spoken over your life. And he assumed that if he attacked you from enough different directions, you would eventually surrender to defeat. He calculated your breaking point based on what he had observed in others, but he failed to factor in the divine strength that flows through your spiritual veins. He measured your endurance by human standards, not understanding that you are powered by supernatural resources, and he underestimated the depth of our relationship and the intensity of my commitment to see you through to victory. Instead of breaking you, the pressure has been making you stronger. Instead of defeating you, the opposition has been developing your spiritual muscles, and instead of destroying your faith, the attacks have been deepening your dependence on me. Each battle you have fought, he has trained you for greater battles, and each victory you have won has prepared you for greater victories. If you are standing with me now, lift your voice, say Amen, and pass this word on. Let others agree with you. The more hearts that align, the louder heaven moves on your behalf. Say it, Amen. Share it. I am not finished, I am moving, I am faithful. Receive this word, hold it close, act on it, and watch. For I am your defender, your vindicator, and your rewarder. Go now in the confidence I have placed on you, and declare with me, my season of breakthrough has begun. Every single time you chose to pray when you wanted to panic, you were winning a massive victory in the spiritual realm that you could not see with your natural eyes. Every moment you decided to praise me instead of complaining about your circumstances, you were physically pushing back the heavy forces of darkness and creating space for my light to break through the clouds. Every time you declared my promises over your situation, instead of agreeing with the lies the enemy whispered in your ear, you were releasing entire angelic armies to fight on your behalf and opening channels for my power to flow directly into your struggle. Every time you forgave those who hurt you, even when they didn't apologize, instead of harboring resentment in your heart, you were maintaining the spiritual authority that comes from walking in my love and keeping your heart clean before me. Every time you chose faith over fear, hope over despair, and love over hate, you were striking blows against the kingdom of darkness that shook the unseen world and advanced my kingdom right here on earth. If this is your testimony, type "I receive victory" or say it aloud, "Father, I receive your victory." Speak it now and let your spirit agree with my word. And now, after all of these silent battles, after all of this painful testing, after all of this preparation in the shadows, the enemy has finally realized that his strategy has completely backfired. Instead of stopping you from becoming who I created you to be, he has actually helped to prepare you for greater levels of authority and influence than you ever would have reached without the opposition. Instead of preventing you from fulfilling your destiny, he has strengthened your spiritual muscles for the responsibilities that come with the calling I have placed on your life. The spiritual warfare that has been so intense and heavy around you is now beginning to shift in your favor. The very demons that were assigned to torment your mind are being reassigned to other territories because they have failed in their mission to stop you. The spiritual atmosphere over your life is being cleared right now of every opposing force, every hindering spirit, and every demonic assignment that has tried to limit your progress or steal your joy. I am releasing legions of warrior angels to surround you and your family with a protection that cannot be penetrated by any weapon the enemy tries to form. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. These are not ordinary angels. These are the same heavenly beings who fought alongside Michael the archangel when Lucifer was cast out of heaven. These are the same supernatural warriors who shut the mouths of hungry lions for Daniel. These are the same divine soldiers who protected my people throughout history. They are taking their positions around your life right this second, creating a hedge of protection that will prevent any evil from reaching you or your loved ones. They are going before you to prepare your way, removing obstacles that would hinder your progress, and clearing paths that lead straight to your breakthrough. They are standing behind you to ensure that nothing from your past can overtake you or drag you back into the patterns and cycles that once held you captive. These angels are also positioned right beside you to strengthen you in battle, to whisper my words of encouragement when you feel weak, to remind you of my promises when you feel discouraged, and to impart supernatural strength when you feel overwhelmed. They surround you like a wall of fire that no enemy can penetrate, like an impenetrable fortress that no weapon can breach, and like an unshakable foundation that no storm can destroy. If you want someone to pray with you for this angelic covering, comment "Shield" below so we can stand with you in agreement right now. But the spiritual transformation taking place in your life goes far deeper than just protection from external attacks. I am also doing a deep work inside of you that will change the very core of who you are and how you operate in this world. The old nature that was ruled by fear, insecurity, and limitation is being replaced by a new nature that operates from faith, confidence, and supernatural empowerment. That heavy spirit of fear that has tormented you with anxiety about the future is being cast out and replaced with a spirit of love, power, and a sound mind. You will no longer be paralyzed by what might happen because you will be confident in what I have promised will happen. You will no longer be controlled by worst-case scenarios because you will be focused on the best-case realities that I am bringing to pass in your life. The spirit of rejection that has made you feel like an outsider, like someone who does not belong, or like a person who is not wanted or valued is being removed from your life forever. In its place, I am imparting to you a deep, undeniable revelation of your acceptance in my sight, your belonging in my family, and your significance in my kingdom. You will never again question whether you are loved, whether you matter, or whether you have a place in this world. If you choose faith over fear today, type faith and take one small step. Speak one promise from this message out loud right now. Write it down. Act on it. Celebrate the step. The spirit of poverty that has made you think in terms of lack, limitation, and scarcity is being broken off of your life and your family line. The generational patterns of struggle and living paycheck to paycheck that have affected your ancestors are being interrupted by my supernatural provision and abundance. From this generation forward, your family will be known not for their financial struggles, but for their faithful stewardship of the wealth I have entrusted to them. The spirit of sickness and infirmity that has tried to establish itself in your body is being driven out by my healing power. Every genetic predisposition toward disease, every family history of illness, and every medical condition that has tried to claim your life is being overruled by my authority as the God who heals all diseases and forgives all iniquities. Your body is being restored to the health and vitality I intended when I first designed you in your mother's womb. If you expect us suddenly in your finances, grab a notebook and write one practical step you will take this week towards stewardship or opportunity. Then comment suddenly below. Speak it into existence. The spirit of confusion that has clouded your thinking and made it difficult for you to make clear decisions is being replaced by the spirit of wisdom and revelation. You will know exactly what to do in every situation, because my Holy Spirit will guide you into all truth. You will understand things that once seemed mysterious because I will give you insight that comes straight from Mithronerum. You will make decisions with confidence because you will have access to information and wisdom that the world cannot provide. The spirit of delay and procrastination that has caused you to put off important decisions and delay taking action on your dreams is being broken right now. In its place, I am giving you a spirit of urgency and divine timing that will help you recognize when to move and when to wait, when to speak and when to remain silent, when to act and when to rest in my sovereignty. You will no longer struggle with indecision or second-guessing yourself, because you will be operating from a place of inner knowing that comes from your deep connection to me. You will no longer miss opportunities because of fear or uncertainty, because you will have the courage and clarity to step through every door I open for you at precisely the right moment. And as these spiritual transformations take place in your life, you will begin to operate with a level of authority that you have never experienced before. This is not human authority that comes from a job title or position. This is spiritual authority that comes from your relationship with me, your understanding of who you are in my kingdom. You will speak to mountains of difficulty, and they will be removed. You will command storms of opposition to be still, and they will obey your voice. You will declare my promises over impossible situations, and you will watch them transform before your eyes. You will pray for the sick, and they will recover. You will prophesy over the broken, and they will be restored. You will bless the cursed, and they will be set free. This authority is not something you will have to strive for or earn. It is something that belongs to you by inheritance as my child. It is part of the package that comes with your salvation, part of the benefits of your citizenship in my kingdom, and part of the privileges that are yours, because you bear my name and carry my spirit within you. But this authority will not make you proud or arrogant. It will make you more humble and compassionate than ever before. You will understand that every miracle you witness, every prayer that gets answered, and every life that gets transformed through your ministry is not because of your goodness, but because of my grace working through you. You will know that you are simply a vessel, an instrument, a conduit through which my power flows to reach people who need to experience my love. The miracles that will flow through your life will not be performed to bring attention to yourself, but to bring glory to my name. The healings that will take place when you pray for people will not make you feel important, but will make you feel grateful to be used by the God of the impossible. The breakthroughs that will happen when you speak my word over situations will not inflate your ego, but will increase your awe at my power and faithfulness. But even as you begin to operate in this new level of spiritual authority, I want you to remember that your primary identity is not as a mighty warrior or a powerful minister, but as my beloved child. Before you are anything else, before you do anything for me, you are someone who is cherished and treasured beyond words by your Heavenly Father. This relationship that we share is not based on what you can do for me, but on what I have already done for you. My love for you is not dependent on your performance, your success, your ability to help others, or your spiritual maturity. My love for you is unconditional, unchanging, and eternal because it is rooted in my character rather than your conduct. When you understand this truth at the deepest level of your being, it will transform not only how you see yourself, but how you relate to everyone else in your life. You will love others not because they deserve it, but because you have experienced being loved when you did not deserve it. You will forgive others not because they have earned it, but because you have been forgiven of debts you could never repay. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. You will serve others not to gain approval or recognition, but because you are overflowing with the love that has been poured out in your heart. This is the kind of person I am raising you up to be. Someone who is powerful yet humble, confident yet compassionate, successful yet servant-hearted, blessed yet generous. You will be a living demonstration of what happens when someone allows me to transform their life from the inside out. When they surrender completely to my will and trust completely in my love. And as you step into this new identity, as you embrace this new level of spiritual authority, as you begin to experience the fullness of the destiny I have prepared for you, you will also become a target for those who are threatened by the light that shines through your life. Not everyone will celebrate your breakthrough. Not everyone will be happy about your promotion. Not everyone will rejoice in your success. Some people will be jealous of the favor I place on your life and will try to find ways to discredit what I am doing through you. They will look for flaws in your character, mistakes in your past, or inconsistencies in your behavior that they can use to undermine your testimony. They will spread rumors about your motives, question your integrity, and attempt to convince others that your success is the result of luck, connections, or compromise rather than divine blessing. Others will be intimidated by the authority I give you and will attempt to undermine your influence or question your right to speak into their situations. They will challenge your qualifications, criticize your methods, and resist your leadership because they feel threatened by the confidence and clarity with which you operate. They will try to make you doubt yourself by pointing out your limitations or reminding you of your past failures. Still others will be convicted by the transformation in your life and will lash out at you because your growth highlights their own stagnation. Your peace will make them uncomfortable with their chaos. Your prosperity will make them dissatisfied with their lack. Your joy will make them aware of their depression. Your faith will expose at their doubt, and instead of being inspired to pursue their own breakthrough, they will try to tear you down to make themselves feel better. But none of this opposition will be able to stop what I have started in your life. None of these attacks will be able to steal what I have given you. None of these attempts to derail your destiny will succeed, because I am your protector and defender, and no weapon formed against you will prosper. When people speak against you, their words will fall to the ground without impact, because you know who you are in me. When they try to sabotage your opportunities, I will open doors that no human being can shut. When they attempt to isolate you, I will surround you with people who see your value and support your vision. When they spread lies about your character, I will lead your life speak the truth about who you really are. You will not need to defend yourself, because I will be your defense. You will not need to fight for your reputation, because I will establish your name and righteousness. You will not need to prove your worth, because I will demonstrate your value in ways that cannot be denied or dismissed. You will not need to retaliate against those who attack you, because I will vindicate you in my time and in my way. Instead, you will respond to opposition with grace, to criticism with humility, to rejection with love, and to persecution with forgiveness. This response will confound your enemies and convict your critics, demonstrating the reality of the transformation I have worked in your heart and the power of my Spirit operating through your life. And as you continue to walk in this supernatural grace, as you maintain your character under pressure, as you respond to evil with good and hatred with love, you will see something beautiful begin to happen. Some of those who once opposed you will be drawn to the light they see in you. Some of those who once criticized you will become curious about the source of your strength. Some of those who once rejected you will begin to respect the person you have become. Your consistency under pressure will become a testimony to my faithfulness. Your peace in the midst of storms will become evidence of my presence. Your joy despite circumstances will become proof of my promises. Your love for those who hurt you will become demonstration of my grace, and through these qualities, many people will come to know me because they see me living in you. If someone you know needs to hear this, tag or share this message with them right now. Be the instrument that carries hope into their life. This is part of the greater purpose behind your personal breakthrough. This is why your victory is so important to my kingdom, and why the enemy fought so hard to prevent it from happening. You are not just receiving blessings for yourself, you are becoming a conduit through which my blessings will flow to many others. You are not just escaping your own difficulties. You are becoming a bridge that will help others cross over from struggle to success, from pain to purpose, from brokenness to breakthrough. The story of your transformation will become a beacon of hope for those who are walking through their own dark valleys. When they hear about the ways I turned your mourning into dancing and your ashes into beauty, when they see the evidence of my faithfulness in your life, they will find the courage to hold on to their own hope and trust their own promises from me. You will become living proof that I am still in the business of performing miracles, that I still love to take broken things and make them beautiful, and that I still delight in elevating the humble and blessing the faithful. Your life will be a demonstration of my goodness that no skeptic can deny and no cynic can explain away. But even more than being a testimony to others, your breakthrough will be a source of ongoing joy and purpose for you. You will love the person you have become through this process. You will appreciate the wisdom you have gained, the strength you have developed, the compassion you have cultivated, and the faith you have built. You will look in the mirror and like what you see, not because you are perfect, but because you are growing. Not because you have arrived, but because you are moving in the right direction. The dreams that once seemed impossible will become your daily reality. The prayers that once felt like they were bouncing off the ceiling will be answered so abundantly that you will run out of ways to say thank you. The promises that once seemed too good to be true will be fulfilled in ways that exceed even your most optimistic expectations. You will wake up each morning with a sense of excitement about what the day will bring, because you will know that you are partnering with mine purposes that have eternal significance. You will go to sleep each night with a sense of satisfaction, because you will know that your life is making a difference, that your existence matters, that your contributions are valuable and appreciated. The work you do will feel more like a calling than a career because you will understand how it fits into the larger picture of what I am doing in the earth. The relationships you build will feel more like destiny than coincidence because you will recognize my hand in bringing the right people into your life at exactly the right time. Their sources you manage will feel more like stewardship than ownership, because you will understand that everything you have is a gift from meant to be used for purposes greater than your own comfort and pleasure. And in those quiet moments, when you reflect on the journey that brought you to this place, when you remember the pain that once felt unbearable and the confusion that once seemed overwhelming, when you think about the times you wanted to quit and the days you wondered if I had forgotten about you, you will be filled with a gratitude so deep that it moves you to tears of joy rather than sorrow. You will understand then, with a clarity that only comes through experience, that every tear was an investment in your future joy, that every struggle was preparation for your coming strength, that every disappointment was protection from something that would have limited your potential, and that every delay was divine timing, ensuring that you arrived at your destination exactly when all the elements were perfectly aligned for your success. And through it all, through every blessing and every breakthrough, through every open door and every answered prayer, our relationship will continue to deepen and grow stronger. You will not love me more simply because I blessed you. You will be able to receive my blessings more fully because you love me. You will not serve me harder because I came through for you. You will be able to serve me more effectively because you trust me. The foundation of our relationship has been established through the trials you have faced, tested through the difficulties you have overcome, and proven through the faithfulness you have demonstrated, even when you could not see my hand at work. Now that foundation will support levels of intimacy, trust, and partnership that you never thought possible. I will share secrets with you that I do not share with everyone. I will give you insights into my heart and my plans that will help you pray more effectively and serve more strategically. I will trust you with assignments and responsibilities that require the kind of character and maturity that can only be developed through the kind of testing you have successfully endured. You will be more than my child. You will be my friend. You will be more than my servant. You will be my partner. You will be more than someone who receives my blessings. You will be someone who helps distribute my blessings to others who need to experience my love and grace. And when your time on earth is complete, when you have fulfilled every purpose for which you were created, when you have touched every life you were meant to influence, when you have completed every assignment I have given you, you will transition from this temporary home to your eternal dwelling with a sense of satisfaction that comes from knowing you lived fully, loved deeply, and served faithfully. You will hear me say, "Well done, good and faithful servant. Enter into the joy of your Lord." And you will understand that every sacrifice you made was worth it. Every hardship you endured was meaningful. And every moment of faithfulness was noticed and appreciated by your Heavenly Father, who loves you more than words could ever express. But that day is still fair in the future, because I have so much more for you to experience and accomplish in this life. The breakthrough that is beginning now is just the first of many seasons of blessing that await you. The transformation you're about to witness is just the foundation for greater transformations that are coming. The joy you are about to experience is just a foretaste of the eternal joy that awaits you in my presence. So receive these words not just as promises for your immediate future, but as a glimpse into the abundant life that I have prepared for you. Let them fill you with hope that transcends your current circumstances, with peace that surpasses your present understanding, and with joy that no one and nothing can take away from you. You are loved beyond measure. You are valued beyond comparison. You are blessed beyond comprehension. And you are about to step into a future that will prove all of these truths in ways that will amaze you and everyone who witnesses the goodness of God in your life. The best is yet to come, and it is coming soon. But before I seal these words with my final blessing, I want to speak to you about specific areas of your life where you will see my miraculous intervention in the days and weeks ahead. I want you to understand not just the general promises I'm making, but the detailed, specific ways in which I'm about to transform your circumstances and elevate your experience. Do not miss what I'm about to declare over your specific circumstances, because these are the details of the miracle being prepared for you. In the area of your finances, I'm about to release what I call a suddenly moment that will change your economic reality overnight. This will not be a gradual improvement or a slow climb out of debt. This will be an instant transformation that will leave you and everyone around you amazed at the speed and magnitude of the change. The breakthrough that is coming will be so dramatic that you will need to expand your capacity to receive and your wisdom to manage the abundance that will flow into your life. Within the next 90 days, you will receive financial provision from sources you never expected. There will be money that comes to you through legal settlements, insurance claims, tax refunds, inheritance distributions, investment returns, business opportunities, or unexpected gifts that will totally reshape your financial landscape. Some of this money will come from people who owe you, but whom you had written off as unwilling or unable to pay. Some will come from institutions that discover they owe you compensation for past errors or oversights. Some will come as rewards for ideas you submit, contests you enter, or opportunities that present themselves when you least expect them. But the most remarkable aspect of your financial breakthrough will be the way it positions you to become a giver, rather than always being the one who needs to receive. When you have more than enough for yourself, when your own needs are abundantly met, when your future is financially secure, you will discover the incredible joy that comes from being able to meet the needs of others. You will experience the satisfaction of being able to say yes when someone asks for help, the pleasure of being able to surprise people with generous gifts, and the fulfillment of being able to fund projects and causes that are close to your heart. I am also going to give you business ideas and investment insights that will generate passive income streams for years to come. These will not be get-rich-quick schemes or high-risk ventures. These will be solid, sustainable opportunities that align with your gifts and interests while providing long-term financial security. Some of these ideas will come to you in dreams, others through conversations with the right people at the right time, and still others through observations you make about needs in the marketplace that you are uniquely positioned to meet. The wisdom I give you about money management will help you avoid the pitfalls that destroy many people who receive sudden wealth. You will know how to save appropriately, invest wisely, spend responsibly, and give generously. You will understand the difference between assets and liabilities, between temporary pleasures and lasting value, between wise stewardship and foolish extravagance. This wisdom will ensure that the wealth I give you continues to grow and multiply, rather than being dissipated through poor decisions or lack of understanding. In your professional life, the recognition and advancement that have been delayed are about to accelerate in ways that will astound your colleagues and supervisors and cause them to ask how such rapid promotion is possible. The skills you have been developing during seasons when it seemed like no one noticed, the knowledge you have been acquiring through experiences that felt like setbacks, and the wisdom you have been gaining through challenges that appeared to be obstacles, have all been preparation for opportunities that are about to present themselves in remarkable succession. Doors that have been closed to you will swing open with ease, revealing opportunities that were being prepared while you thought nothing was happening. People who have overlooked you will suddenly see your value with crystal clarity, recognizing qualities in you that they had been blind to before. Organizations that have passed you by will compete for your services, offering positions and compensation packages that reflect your true worth and potential. The same companies that once rejected your applications will find themselves actively recruiting you, amazed at how they could have missed such obvious talent and capability. If you are currently employed, you are about to see promotions, raises, bonuses, and expanded responsibilities that reflect your true worth and potential. If you are currently unemployed, you are about to receive multiple job offers that will give you the luxury of choosing the position that best fits your gifts and goals. If you are self-employed or considering starting your own business, you are about to discover opportunities and resources that will accelerate your success beyond anything you imagine possible. The favor I am placing on your professional life will also extend to your relationships with coworkers, supervisors, clients, and vendors. People who have been difficult to work with will become cooperative and supportive. Communication that has been strained will become smooth and effective. Projects that have been stalled will begin to move forward with momentum. Teams that have been dysfunctional will find new harmony and productivity. But beyond just professional success, I am positioning you for influence and impact that extends far beyond your job description. You will become a voice for positive change in your workplace, an advocate for justice and fairness, and a source of encouragement and hope for those around you. Your integrity will be recognized and respected. Your wisdom will be sought and valued. Your leadership will be acknowledged and followed. In the area of your health, I am releasing healing power that will address every condition, symptom, and concern that has been affecting your physical well-being. This healing will be comprehensive, touching not just the obvious problems, but also the underlying issues that you may not even be aware of. Your energy levels will increase dramatically. Your sleep will become deep and restorative. Your immune system will be strengthened to fight off infections and diseases. Your metabolism will function optimally to maintain your ideal weight and energy levels. For those of you who have been dealing with chronic pain, I am commanding every source of discomfort to leave your body right now. The inflammation that has been causing swelling and stiffness is being reduced. The nerve damage that has been sending pain signals is being healed. The muscular tension that has been creating headaches and back pain is being released. You will wake up feeling better than you have felt in months or even years. For those who have been struggling with mental and emotional health issues, I am bringing healing to your mind and restoration to your emotions. The depression that has been like a heavy blanket over your thoughts is being lifted. The anxiety that has been creating fear and panic is being replaced with peace and confidence. The trauma that has been affecting your ability to trust and relate to others is being healed through my love and grace. Your cognitive function will be enhanced in remarkable ways. Your memory will become sharper and more reliable. Your ability to concentrate and focus will be increased. Your creativity and problem-solving skills will be multiplied. You will think more clearly, learn more quickly, and understand more deeply than ever before. This mental clarity will serve you well in all areas of your life, helping you make better decisions, communicate more effectively, and achieve your goals more efficiently. But perhaps most importantly, your spiritual sensitivity will be heightened in ways that will revolutionize your relationship with me and your ability to discern my will for your life. You will begin to hear my voice more clearly, understand my promptings more accurately, and respond to my guidance more quickly. Your prayer life will become more focused and effective. Your worship will become more authentic and meaningful. Your service will become more purposeful and impactful. In your relationships, I am orchestrating connections that will enrich your life beyond anything you have previously experienced. For those who are single, I am preparing to bring into your life someone who will be not just a romantic partner, but a true companion for the journey of life. This person will share your values, support your dreams, challenge your growth, and complement your strengths. Together, you will build something beautiful that brings glory to my name and blessing to everyone around you. This relationship will not be based on desperation or compromise, but on divine alignment and mutual respect. You will not have to change who you are to be loved by this person. They will love you exactly as you are, while inspiring you to become everything you are destined to be. You will not have to sacrifice your calling or your dreams. They will be your biggest supporter and strongest encourager as you pursue the purposes I have given you. For those who are married but have been struggling in your relationship, I am releasing healing and restoration that will transform your marriage into the partnership I intended it to be. Communication that has been broken will be restored. Trust that has been damaged will be rebuilt. Love that has grown cold will be rekindled. Intimacy that has been lost will be recovered. You will fall in love with each other all over again, but this time it will be a deeper, more mature, more lasting love than you experienced in the beginning. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. The issues that have been sources of conflict in your marriage will be resolved as you both learn to see each other through my eyes of grace and acceptance. You will develop new patterns of interaction that build up rather than tear down, that encourage rather than criticize, that support rather than compete. Your marriage will become a testimony to others of what is possible when two people commit to love each other the way I love them. For those who have been struggling with family relationships, I am bringing healing to generational wounds and restoration to broken connections. Parents and children who have been estranged will be reconciled. Siblings who have been divided by jealousy or misunderstanding will be reunited in love. Extended family members who have been separated by geography or grudges will find new reasons to connect and new ways to support each other. The family gatherings that have been sources of stress and tension will become times of joy and celebration. The conversations that have been avoided because they were too painful will finally take place with grace and understanding. The forgiveness that has been withheld for years will be offered and received, creating space for new beginnings and fresh starts. Your friends will begin to notice a change in you that they cannot explain but cannot deny. Your peace in the midst of chaos will intrigue them. Your joy despite difficult circumstances will puzzle them. Your confidence in my promises will challenge them to examine their own faith. Many of them will ask you about the source of your strength, giving you opportunities to share your testimony and introduce them to the same God who has transformed your life. But I also want to warn you about relationships that are not healthy for you. Connections that drain your energy rather than energizing you. People who take from you without giving back. And individuals who are threatened by your growth and will try to sabotage your progress. As I bring new people into your life, I will also remove people who no longer belong there. Some of these separations will be painful, especially when they involve people you love who are not ready or willing to support the person you are becoming. Do not try to hold on to relationships that I am ending. Do not feel guilty about setting boundaries with people who do not respect your values or support your vision. Do not compromise your growth to accommodate people who are comfortable with mediocrity. The space that is created when unhealthy relationships end will make room for the healthy connections that I am bringing into your life. There is one more thing you must understand before this message concludes, and it concerns not just you, but your entire family line. I want you to understand that the transformation I am working in your life is not just about individual blessing. It is about generational impact. The breakthroughs you experience will become the foundation for breakthroughs in your children's lives and your children's children's lives. The patterns of struggle and limitation that have characterized your family history are being broken forever. The new patterns of success and abundance that are being established through your life will become the inheritance you pass down to future generations. The spiritual strongholds that have held your family line captive are being demolished. The curses that have been spoken over your ancestry are being reversed and replaced with blessings. The poverty mindset that has limited your family's financial success is being replaced with an abundance mindset that will create wealth for generations to come. The spirit of sickness and disease that have plagued your bloodline are being eradicated by the healing power that is flowing through your life into your family tree. Your children will grow up in an atmosphere of faith rather than fear, possibility rather than limitation, and hope rather than despair. They will see firsthand what it looks like to trust God and experience His faithfulness. They will witness the power of prayer, the importance of integrity, the value of hard work, and the joy of generosity. The example you set will influence their choices, shape their character, and direct their paths in ways that will impact their entire lives. Even your grandchildren and great-grandchildren will benefit from the spiritual foundation you are laying during this season of breakthrough. The prayers you pray now will continue to work in their lives decades from now. The faith you demonstrate will inspire them to believe God for their own miracles. The testimony you carry will become part of their spiritual heritage, giving them confidence that the same God who did great things for their ancestor will do great things for them as well. This is why the enemy fought so hard to prevent your breakthrough. He understood that your victory would create a ripple effect that would devastate his kingdom for generations to come. He knew that if he could keep you bound, he could keep your entire family line limited. But because you have persevered, because you have maintained your faith, and because you have refused to give up, you have become the key that unlocks freedom for everyone connected to you. As you step into this new season, I want you to be prepared for the responsibility that comes with the blessing. When I elevate you, when I prosper you, and when I use you to help others, there will be people who will look to you for guidance, support, and example. You will have opportunities to mentor others who are walking through similar challenges to what you have faced. You will be able to offer hope to those who feel hopeless, encouragement to those who feel discouraged, and wisdom to those who feel confused. The platform I am giving you is not for your own glory, but for my glory expressed through your life. The influence I am entrusting to you is not for your own advancement, but for the advancement of my kingdom through your testimony. The resources I am providing are not just for your own comfort, but for the comfort and blessing of those around you who need to experience my love and grace. I am raising you up to be a leader, but not the kind of leader who demands to be served. Rather, the kind of leader who serves others. I am positioning you for influence, but not the kind of influence that manipulates people for personal gain. Rather, the kind of influence that inspires people to reach their highest potential. I am blessing you with success, but not the kind of success that is measured only in material terms. Rather, the kind of success that is measured by the positive impact you have on the lives of others. Your success will be my success expressed through your life. Your breakthrough will be my breakthrough manifested in your circumstances. Your victory will be my victory demonstrated through your testimony. And as people see what I have done for you, they will be drawn to seek the same relationship with me that has transformed your life so dramatically. This is the beginning of the most exciting chapter of your story. This is the launch point for adventures and experiences that will exceed your wildest imagination. This is the foundation for impact and influence that will extend far beyond your lifetime. You are not just entering a season of personal blessing. You are entering a season of kingdom advancement, where your life becomes a conduit for my power, my love, and my purposes in the earth. The dreams you dreamed as a child that seemed too big to be possible are about to become reality. The visions I gave you years ago that you thought you might have misunderstood are about to be fulfilled in ways that will exceed even your most optimistic expectations. The promises I made to you in prayer that seemed too good to be true are about to manifest in your physical reality in undeniable ways. Every person who told you that your dreams were unrealistic will have to acknowledge that they underestimated both your potential and my power. Every circumstance that seemed to block your progress will be revealed as part of the path that led to your promotion. Every delay that frustrated you will be understood as divine timing that positioned you to receive exactly what you needed, exactly when you were ready for it. The story that is about to unfold in your life will be one that you will love to tell and that others will love to hear. It will be a story of impossibility becoming possibility, of limitation becoming breakthrough, and of human weakness becoming divine strength. It will be a story that brings hope to the hopeless, faith to the faithless, and love to the loveless. And as you live this story, as you walk in this victory, as you experience this transformation, you will understand in a way that you never have before that I am not just the God of your eternity, but the God of your everyday experience. I am not just the God of your salvation, but the God of your success. I am not just the God of your soul, but the God of your circumstances. I am not just the God of your worship, but the God of your work, your relationships, your dreams, your challenges, and your victories. Nothing in your life is outside of my concern or beyond my ability to transform. There is no problem too big for my power, no situation too complex for my wisdom, no challenge too difficult for my strength, and no dream too ambitious for my resources. What seems impossible to you is perfectly possible to me. What seems unlikely to others is absolutely certain to me. What seems delayed in time is right on schedule according to my perfect plan. So forward with confidence, knowing that your future is secure in my hands. Live each day with expectation, knowing that every sunrise brings you closer to the fulfillment of everything I have promised. Face every challenge with courage, knowing that I am with you and for you, and that nothing can ultimately stand against what I have determined to accomplish through your life. The best days of your life are not behind you. They are ahead of you. The greatest victories you will experience have not yet been won. The most significant impact you will make has not yet been achieved. The deepest joy you will know has not yet been felt. The strongest relationships you will build have not yet been formed. The most abundant provision you will receive has not yet been given. Everything good that has happened to you so far has been preparation for something better that is coming. Every blessing you have received has been a down payment on greater blessings that are being prepared. Every victory you have won has been training for greater victories that await you. Every door that has opened has been leading to bigger doors that are about to swing open before you. You are standing at the beginning of the most magnificent season of your life, a season that will be marked by such favor, such blessing, and such supernatural intervention that you will find yourself saying again and again, "Only God could have done this." And you will be absolutely right. Because what I am about to do in your life will be undeniably, unmistakably, and unquestionably my work, my power, and my love expressed through your circumstances for my glory and for the blessing of everyone whose life you touch. The time of struggle is over. The time of breakthrough has begun. The season of waiting is finished. The season of receiving has arrived. The period of preparation has ended. The period of manifestation has started. Everything changes now. Everything accelerates now. Everything aligns now for your complete and total transformation. And as I bring this message to a close, I want to speak one final word over your spirit that will anchor these promises deep in your heart and seal them with my eternal love. I want you to understand that what I am doing in your life is not temporary or conditional. It is permanent and unconditional because it is based on who I am, not on what you do. My love for you will never change regardless of your circumstances. My commitment to you will never waver regardless of your performance. My plans for you will never be altered regardless of your past. You are mine and I am yours forever and always. This relationship that we share is not a contract that can be broken. It is a covenant that can never be dissolved. When you face moments of doubt in the days ahead, and you will, because doubt is one of the enemy's favorite weapons, remember that your security is not in your feelings, but in my faithfulness. When circumstances seem to contradict what I have spoken over you, remember that my word is more reliable than what you can see with your natural eyes. When people question whether what you are experiencing is really from me, remember that my sheep know my voice, and they will not follow the voice of a stranger. The miracles that are about to unfold in your life will not happen because you earned them or deserve them. They will happen because I love you, and because I have chosen to demonstrate my power through your circumstances. You do not need to try to make these things happen through your own effort or manipulation. You simply need to rest in my promises and trust in my timing. When the financial breakthrough comes, when the healing manifests, when the relationships are restored, when the opportunities open, and when the dreams become reality, remember that it was my grace that made it possible, not your goodness. Give me the glory for every good thing that comes into your life, and let your testimony always point people to me rather than to yourself. But also remember that these blessings are not the end goal. They are the beginning of a new level of partnership with me in advancing my kingdom on earth. The more I bless you, the more I will use you to bless others. The more I heal you, the more I will use you to bring healing to others. The more I prosper you, the more I will use you to bring prosperity to others. The more I love you, the more I will use you to demonstrate my love to others. Your breakthrough is not just about your personal happiness, though I do want you to be happy. It is not just about your individual success, though I do want you to succeed. It is not just about your private blessing, though I do want you to be blessed. Your breakthrough is about my glory being revealed through your life in such a powerful way that it impacts everyone around you and draws them into a deeper relationship with me. The testimonies you will carry will become bridges for others to cross, from death to life, from bondage to freedom, and from despair to hope. The wisdom you will gain will become counsel for others who are facing similar challenges. The peace you will experience will be comfort for others who are walking through storms. The joy you will know will become encouragement for others who are struggling with depression. This is why I have invested so much in your transformation. This is why I have allowed you to go through what you have gone through. This is why I have been so patient with your process. I have not been preparing you just for your own. I have been preparing you to become a blessing to many, a light in the darkness, and a voice of hope in a world that has forgotten how to hope. But even as you embrace this calling to minister to others, never forget that your first and most important identity is as my beloved child. Before you are a minister, you are a child. Before you are a leader, you are a follower. Before you are a giver, you are a receiver. Before you are strong for others, you need to be strong in me. Continue to come to me with your own needs, your own questions, and your own struggles. Continue to seek me for your own growth, your own healing, and your own guidance. Continue to depend on me for your own strength, your own wisdom, and your own peace. The more you receive from me personally, the more you will have to give to others authentically. Never let ministry replace intimacy. Never let service to others become a substitute for relationship with me. Never let helping people become more important than knowing me. The source of your effectiveness in ministry will always be the depth of your connection to me. The power of your testimony will always be the reality of your transformation. The impact of your influence will always be the authenticity of your experience. And remember that my love for you is not dependent on how effectively you minister to others or how successfully you fulfill your calling. Even if you never help another person, even if you never share your testimony with anyone, and even if you never achieve anything significant in the eyes of the world, you are still precious to me. You are still valuable to me. You are still loved by me beyond measure. You do not earn my love by what you do for me. You express your love for me by what you do for others. You do not maintain my favor by your performance. You demonstrate your gratitude for my favor by your service. You do not prove your worth by your accomplishments. You discover your worth in my acceptance of you exactly as you are. So as you step into this new season of your life, step with confidence but also with humility. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Walk in authority, but also in submission. Operate in power, but also in love. Lead with strength, but also with gentleness. Succeed with boldness, but also with integrity. Prosper with abundance, but also with generosity. Be the person I have created you to be, but never forget whose you are. Accomplish the purposes I have given you, but always remember who empowers you. Enjoy the blessings I provide for you, but never lose sight of who provides them. Touch the lives I bring across your path, but always point them to the source of the love that flows through you. Live each day as an act of worship, every conversation as an opportunity to minister, every challenge as a chance to demonstrate faith, and every success as a platform to give testimony. Let your life become a living prayer, a walking sermon, and a breathing blessing to everyone whose path crosses yours. And in those quiet moments when it is just you and me, When the demands of ministry are set aside and the responsibilities of leadership are put on pause, remember that those are the most important moments of all. In the secret place of relationship with me, in the hidden place of intimate fellowship with me, and in the quiet place of personal communion with me, that is where you will find the strength for everything else, the wisdom for every decision, the love for every person, and the grace for every challenge. Never become too busy helping others to spend time with me. Never become so focused on doing things for me that you forget to simply be with me. Never let the urgency of the mission overshadow the importance of the relationship. I am not just your commander giving you orders. I am your father inviting you into fellowship. I am not just your boss assigning you tasks. I am your friend desiring your company. The work will always be there. The needs will always exist. The opportunities will always present themselves. But this moment, this season, this time of your life will never come again. Make the most of it. Embrace it fully. Live it completely. Love me deeply. Trust me completely. Follow me faithfully. Serve me joyfully. And let every moment of your life become a celebration of the love we share and the relationship we have built together through all that we have experienced. The future is bright, brighter than you can imagine. The path ahead is clear, clearer than it has ever been. The purposes are being fulfilled in ways that will exceed your expectations. The promises are being manifested in timing that is perfect. The love is being expressed in ways that will overwhelm you with gratitude and joy. You are entering the most exciting, most fulfilling, and most significant chapter of your entire life. But more than that, you are entering a deeper level of relationship with me that will satisfy every longing of your heart and meet every need of your soul. You are not just getting what you asked for. You are getting what you didn't even know you needed. You are not just receiving what you prayed for. You are receiving what your spirit has been crying out for since the day you were born. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your season. Everything you have been through has led to this. Everything you have learned has prepared you for this. Everything you have endured has strengthened you for this. Everything you have hoped for is about to be realized in this. Walk forward with your head held high, knowing that you are loved. Step into your future with your heart full of faith, knowing that you are blessed. Embrace your destiny with your spirit filled with hope, knowing that you are chosen. Live your life with your soul anchored in peace, knowing that you are mine. The best is yet to come. The greatest is yet to be revealed. The most beautiful is yet to unfold. The most amazing is yet to happen. The most wonderful is yet to be experienced. And it all begins now. It all starts now. It all comes together in this moment, when you choose to believe, to receive, and to embrace everything that I have prepared for you. You are my masterpiece, and I am about to unveil you the world. You are my treasure, and I am about to display you for all to see. You are my beloved, and I am about to lavish you with such love that it takes your breath away. You are my child, and I am about to give you an inheritance that will blow your mind. Get ready. Get ready for miracle after miracle. Get ready for blessing after blessing. Get ready for breakthrough after breakthrough. Get ready for victory after victory. Get ready for the most incredible season of your life to begin right now in this moment. Test these words, take root in your heart, and begin to produce the fruit of everything I have promised. This is not the end of our conversation. This is the beginning of our greatest adventure together. This is not goodbye. This is see you soon as we walk together into everything I have prepared for you. This is not the conclusion of your story. This is the introduction to the most amazing chapters yet to be written. I love you with an everlasting love. I have loved you with an everlasting love. I will love you with an everlasting love. Nothing will ever change that. Nothing will ever diminish that. Nothing will ever threaten that. You are mine forever, and I am yours forever. And together, we will do great things, experience great things, and enjoy great fellowship for all eternity. Rest in that love now. Bask in that assurance now. Celebrate that reality now. And then wake up ready to step into the new life that I have prepared for you, knowing that every step you take, I will be right there beside you, guiding you, protecting you, blessing you, and loving you with a love that will never end. Before I release you into this new chapter of your life, let me paint one final picture of what is coming, so specific and so detailed that you will have no doubt when you see it happening that this word was from me. In the next 30 days, you will begin to see signs of this transformation manifesting in your physical reality. Small things at first, but unmistakably supernatural in their timing and their nature. You will receive unexpected phone calls that open doors you thought were permanently closed. You will encounter people in the most ordinary places who will speak words over you that confirm what I am speaking to your heart right now. You will find money that you had forgotten about, discover opportunities that you did not know existed, and witness coincidences that are so perfectly timed that you will know they are actually divine appointments orchestrated by my hand. Within 60 days, the momentum will build to the point where you will barely have time to process one miracle before another one manifests. Your phone will ring with job offers, business proposals, investment opportunities, and invitations that seemed impossible just weeks before. Your mailbox will contain checks, refunds, settlements, and gifts that will leave you amazed at this. My provision. Your relationships will experience healing, restoration, and new connections that bring joy back into your life in ways you had almost forgotten were possible. But the most remarkable transformation will be taking place inside of you. You will notice that your sleep becomes more peaceful and restorative. You will find that your energy levels increase dramatically, giving you the stamina to pursue opportunities that would have exhausted you in the past. Your creativity will be enhanced, your problem-solving abilities will be sharpened, and your confidence will grow to levels you have never experienced before. People will begin to comment on the change they see in you. Your coworkers will notice that you approach challenges with a calm assurance that inspires confidence in the mass. Your family members will observe that you no longer carry the stress and anxiety that used to weigh you down. Your friends will be amazed at the peace that radiates from your presence and the joy that bubbles up from your spirit, even in the midst of circumstances that would normally cause worry. And as these external and internal changes become more and more apparent, you will also begin to experience a heightening of your spiritual sensitivity that will revolutionize your relationship with me. You will begin to hear my voice more clearly in your times of prayer and meditation. You will start to notice my guidance more readily in your daily decisions and interactions. You will feel my presence more tangibly in your worship and service. This increased spiritual sensitivity will also manifest as an ability to discern spiritual atmospheres and recognizes spiritual attacks before they can take hold in your life. Will know when someone is speaking words over you that are not aligned with my will for your life, and you will have the wisdom and courage to reject those words before they can plant seeds of doubt or discouragement in your heart. You will also begin to operate in spiritual gifts that you may not have experienced before. Words of knowledge will come to you about situations in other people's lives that will enable you to pray specifically and effectively for their needs. Words of wisdom will flow from your mouth that will provide solutions to problems that have seemed unsolvable. Words of encouragement will pour from your heart that will lift the spirits off those who have been crushed by the weight of their circumstances. But perhaps most importantly, you will begin to see the generational impact of your breakthrough, extending beyond your immediate family to touch the lives of people you may never meet in this lifetime. Children and grandchildren who are not yet born will benefit from the spiritual foundation you are laying during this season. Communities and nations will be affected by the ripple effects of the transformation that is taking place in your life right now. The enemy understood this generational impact, which is why he fought so hard to prevent your breakthrough from happening. He knew that if you could be stopped, if you could be defeated, and if you could be convinced to give up, he could maintain strongholds that have been in place for generations. But because you have persevered, because you have maintained your faith, and because you have refused to surrender to defeat, you have become the key that unlocks freedom, not just for yourself, but for countless others. The prayers you have prayed during your season of struggle have not just been for your own deliverance. They have been intercession for the deliverance of your entire bloodline. The faith you have demonstrated during your time of testing has not just been for your own benefit. It has been depositing spiritual capital in the accounts of your descendants that they will draw upon for generations to come. The character you have developed during your period of preparation has not just been for your own growth. It has been establishing patterns of integrity, perseverance, and faithfulness that will become part of your family's spiritual DNA. The wisdom you have gained during your season of waiting has not just been for your own guidance. It has been accumulating in the treasure house of heaven to be dispensed to your children and their children when they need it most. And the breakthrough that you are about to experience is not just for your own blessing. It is going to become a testimony that will inspire faith in people you will never meet, in places you will never go, and in times you will never see. The prayers you have prayed now will work through generations. The testimony you carry will become a bridge many will cross. This is why your breakthrough is so important to my kingdom. This is why I have invested so much in your transformation. This is why I have been so patient with your process. You are not just another person I am helping. You are a strategic player in my plan to reveal my glory to this generation and to the generations that are coming after you. The territory that you are about to take in the spiritual realm will become territory that your children and your children's children will inherit and build upon. The strongholds that you're breaking in your own life will remain broken for your descendants. The patterns of victory that you're establishing will become the normal way of operating for your family line. Where there has been a pattern of poverty, there will be a pattern of prosperity. Where there has been a pattern of sickness, there will be a pattern of health. Where there has been a pattern of broken relationships, there will be a pattern of strong, healthy connections. Where there has been a pattern of spiritual darkness, there will be a pattern of spiritual light and revelation. Your breakthrough is the beginning of a new era for your entire family tree. Your victory is the foundation for victories that will be built upon it for generations to come. Your testimony is the first chapter in a book of miracles that will be written by your descendants as they walk in the spiritual inheritance that you are establishing for them. But this generational impact extends beyond your biological family to include everyone who comes into a relationship with you, everyone who is influenced by your testimony, everyone who is touched by your ministry, and everyone who benefits from your success. The businesses that you will start will provide employment and opportunity for people who need both. The wealth that you will accumulate will fund projects and causes that will make a difference in communities around the world. The wisdom that you will gain will be shared through books, articles, speeches, and conversations that will educate and inspire countless individuals. The healing that you will receive will qualify you to minister healing to others who are suffering from similar conditions. The restoration that you will experience in your relationships will enable you to help others rebuild what has been broken in their own lives. The platform that I'm giving you will become a stage from which my love, my power, and my faithfulness will be demonstrated to audiences that span the globe. The influence that I am entrusting to you will be used to shape opinions, change minds, and transform hearts in ways that advance my kingdom and accomplish my purposes on earth. And through it all, through every blessing and every breakthrough, through every miracle and every victory, you will never forget that it all started here in this moment, when you chose to believe my promises despite your circumstances, when you chose to trust my character despite your confusion, and when you chose to hold on to hope despite your discouragement. This moment is the turning point. This message is the catalyst. These words are the seed that will grow into the harvest of everything I have promised. If this message touched your heart, do 3 things right now. 1. Type Amen in the comments to receive and declare these promises. 2. Share this with someone who needs hope. 3. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next word of encouragement. Join our community below to receive daily reminders and prayer. We'll stand with you as you walk into your breakthrough. What happens next in your life will be the direct result of how you respond to what I have spoken to you right now. If you choose to believe, if you choose to receive, and if you choose to act on what I have said, you will see everything I have described come to pass in your life in ways that will exceed even these detailed descriptions. If you choose to doubt, if you choose to dismiss, and if you choose to ignore what I have spoken, you will remain exactly where you are, wondering what might have been if you had only had the faith to step into what I was offering. The choice is yours. The decision is in your hands. The outcome depends on your response. But know this, my love for you is not dependent on your choice. My commitment to you is not conditional on your response. My desire to bless you is not diminished by your decision. I will continue to love you, to pursue you, to call you, and to invite you into the fullness of everything I have prepared for you, regardless of how you respond to this moment. But if you are ready, if you are willing, if you have the faith to believe that what I have spoken is true, and the courage to step into what I am offering, then get ready for the adventure of a lifetime. Get ready for blessing beyond your wildest dreams. Get ready for breakthrough beyond your highest expectations. Get ready for the most incredible season of your life to begin right now in this moment, as you say yes to everything I have prepared for you. Amen.